activity right now. So I'd like everybody to just relax your brain, let whatever flows in come in. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes, and then when we're done, we'll talk about it a little bit more, okay? So whenever you're ready, let's just start.
When I say nature, I mean scent. In this time, so much of our observation is centered around our eyes, and this ocular-centric world makes us forget our noses. So when I say nature, I mean the scent of the tangerine that you just peeled, or wisteria in the springtime, the early morning smell of sunrise on a mountain trail, the geraniums, the lilac. I mean the wet scent of an approaching storm or the salt spray of the ocean, the sharp cologne of eucalyptus, sandalwood, frankincense, lavender, basil, lemongrass, vanilla, the dry, arid scent of wild sage, or the biological smells of seaweed and sea foam and flotsam and jetsam from around the globe. I mean our smells. The smell of your garden roses, or the smell of freshly cut grass, of overripe fruit, of wet dog, of brewing coffee, of sauteing garlic, of grass-fed steaks on the grill, of onions, of sauerkraut, of moonshine, of morning breath in your lover's bed, or the smell of your nervous body during a big presentation. What do you smell right now? Do you smell nature? Because when I say nature, I mean the smell of your compost in the back corner of your yard, or the hot wave of aroma that comes from your trash bins on Tuesdays, of dead fish, the scum on the bottom of the produce drawer, of coffee-scented urine, of sweaty feet, of human armpits, of sex, of scabs, of chicken shit, of spoiled meat, sulfur, stagnant water, the smell of me, the smell of you.
Can you feel the chemistry between us? Our bodies are made of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, lithium, phosphorus, helium, and sodium. Too much of any one of these and we would die. Too little of any one of them and we cannot survive, and it is only in the delicate balance of each that we thrive. Iron and fluorine and chlorine and bromine. We are only a momentary flash in the stellar life of our composing parts. We are water and stone and mineral and gas, and our composing parts are billions of years old. Carbon and oxygen and nitrogen and hydrogen. Each particle of water that composes our bodies has at once passed through and constituted every other being that has come before us. We are recomposing and decomposing in deep connection with all other non-living and living beings. Carbon and oxygen and hydrogen.
Well, when I say nature, I mean all of those things like that we can't talk about in the wounded and stringent halls of academia, where Wu-Tang would say, stats rule everything around me. All those words that live on the tip of my tongue, and the end of my frontal lobe, and the center of my aorta that somehow, like barnacles in this crashing sea, have been able to hold on through the barrage of don't say, and you're a social scientist, so how on earth could you say the word? If you ever want to be taken seriously as a woman or a scholar, you most certainly won't call yourself, or give any hint that there's something out there that you can't run a t-test on, or plug into Atlas TI, or deduce into this 50-minute lecture, leaving you with steps 1, 2, and 3. Humans, what would happen if words like and became valued as other lived truths? We don't like words like and because they're difficult difficult to deduce things from, and they're hard to quantify, and they're hard to operationalize. But really, why we have them is something that we all know, to why so many of us lend our bodies and our souls to trying to explain this in different languages to different people. And that's that there's magic. Oh, people. And what's more, on some days, I might just be a witch. Humans, would you just get over it? Not some wrathful version of black shreds, the stuff of patriarchal nightmares, though it's tempting. Someone who lends power to places and to spaces. We say that environment is the territory of the scientist, and wilderness of the outlaw, the witch, and the bison. But why can't we just let it in? Because really, how else would you describe a splattering of stars on a black-bathed sky? So when I say nature, I mean magic. And I mean being a witch.
Bitch. When I say nature, I mean site of conquest, contest, contested space, battleground of beauty. When I say nature, I mean a place for me to plant 1,000, million, billion soybeans far and wide into the sunset. Soybeans that I perfected because yours contained mitochondria in your DNA that made you weak and susceptible to the bugs and the pests that were your natural killers. That made you weak and susceptible to the sprays that I used to make you more fertile. Do what I say, nature. Obey. You were imperfect, but I have improved upon your design. When I say grow, you say,
How much?
I say stop with your temper tantrums, melting the glaciers, sending these pesky hurricanes and storms. I say behave. If it makes you feel any better, I'll change out my light bulbs and buy a Prius.
Carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen. But don't forget about petroleum. That sweet, silky, black milk that flows forth from the bosom of God's green earth. From the blessed land, from that holy country, Texas. That fortuitous boon graciously given to man by Mother Earth, brewed patiently by Father Time, oil. My daddy was an oil man, and his daddy before him, and his daddy before him, and all of you understand, we're oil people. Always have been and always will be. I suppose until ain't no more oil left. Then we'll go down in a fiery blaze of glory like the good Lord intended.
No. When I say nature, I mean that thing, that crevice, that slip, where the space between me and her and him and them was not directional, but just a space between, boiling over with the kind of truth that we don't even seem to have words for. When I say nature, I mean the space where race and gender and sexuality and the side of town your apartment is on cease to order the world in the same way. The space where my father found a way out of the barrage of racism because being black and Japanese and poor in the 1950s ghetto wasn't cake, and there were more ways to get in trouble than to stay out of it. When I say nature, I mean the place where my mixed-up, mixed-race aunties and uncles found solace in secondhand hiking boots and ripped bandanas, high above Los Angeles County where race riots exploded and smog threatened the very ions that sustained their young voices, still weak and cuckolded by eons of
Black people don't hike.
and
Girls don't like candy.
and
Men don't like flowers.
and
Woods are for white folk.
And I don't have time to wander willy-nilly through the dirt paths of John Muir because I got mouths to feed and babies to raise and no way to even get there. When I say nature, I mean that moment where the boy Reggie felt a Sierra sunrise on his skin for the first time and said, "Does the sun rise like that in Watts?" because I've never felt it. It's your Emerson and it's your Adams, but without forgetting your Nat Turner. When I say nature, I mean the sensation of snow in Reggie's nostrils, multiplied by evergreens crusted and set fire by sun and cold-heated stories. The displaced newness of it all, the echo between having nothing matter but the way your feet are planted on the ground, yet the everything of a society hell-bent on constantly politicizing the smell of clean rain. Where you know the forces of evil gone unchecked have shoved my relatives, their homeboys and homegirls, black and brown folk, into the center of cities, while making romance out of farmers and Whole Foods, $12 pickled beets, and selling candy-colored outdoor gear like their lives depended on it, forgetting that right then, all that matters is the solid stare of a tree saying, I don't care. I don't care about your performed masculinity, sexual confusion, racialized lives. 12% black, 7% Hispanic, 2.2% queer, 2% Native in the Forest Service. Stats that are not reflective of how nature gives 0 fucks about your stats. Because that mushroom right there will kill you, no matter what foster home or private school that you went to. And if you roll sage in your fingers, it's gonna give you the same chills if you are 5 or 70 or have no legs. Nature gives 0 fucks about the sounds our mouths make, trying to explain the space between me to her and him to them. Because when I say nature, I mean the space that could teach us to let go of the labels. If we dissolve into wonder, if we listen a bit better, if we stop dragging our societal bullshit into its castles and halls, and if we let it just be nature.
When I say nature, I mean surrender. Struggling is nonsense. Struggling with words. You might say, I don't have enough words to explain what I've seen. And you may be right. I don't even have the simple words to tell you what I've touched, smelled, felt, tasted. What really I have felt. Words to talk about nature refer to this contingent, fluid, and ostensibly chaotic reality. The struggle is with naming nature, for I define. The struggle is with pointing nature, for I design. Nature becomes the projection and the creation and the projection of my human desires. When I say nature, I mean surrender. Western humans, erase yourself from the center of knowledge. Let's create a language, as Jeanette Armstrong recalled, that describes the moving pieces of an ongoing reality that stretches away from the speaker. A language that erases and questions the mere